Hello, everyone. It's Pastor Mark here. I hope you are doing well today. I'm here because over the next several days, leading up to Thursday evening, I will be posting video devotions several times throughout the day, really looking at some scriptures that lead up to Jesus' crucifixion time. So today we come here right now and we start by looking at a passage out of Matthew chapter 26, starting at verse 20, where it says, "When evening came, Jesus was reclining at the table with the 12, and while they were there eating, he said, 'Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me.' They were very sad and began to say to him one after the other, 'Surely you don't mean me, Lord.' Jesus replied, 'The one who has dipped his hand in the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born.' Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, 'Surely you don't mean me, Rabbi.' Jesus answered, 'You have said so.'" The purpose of these devotions is to prepare ourselves to take communion together this Thursday evening. We'll do it privately from our own homes, but we'll be together in spirit. And so we'll gather to commemorate Maundy Thursday, that Last Supper Jesus had with his disciples the evening before his crucifixion, that last meal in which he instituted the ordinance of Holy Communion, the Lord's Supper. And in that hour, he said, "Do this in remembrance of me." Keep doing this, what I'm showing you here, to remember what I have done for you. So during these devotions, we're going to look at some of the events in the last day of Jesus leading up to his crucifixion, so we can take a closer look at just some of what he has done for us, so we can remember it more fully when we come together for communion this Thursday. Right now, we come to this idea of betrayal. Judas, one of the 12, one of Jesus' closest followers, but perhaps we could even say one of Jesus' closest friends. Judas, he has agreed to turn Jesus over to the religious authorities at a place and a time when Jesus is away from the crowd and he's unprotected. And then even after making this agreement, Judas comes with the other 11 to this intimate setting to share the Passover feast with Jesus. And he sits there the whole time pretending to be Jesus' friend when all along he knows what he's really up to. That's betrayal. And I think every single one of us right now knows something about what it means to be betrayed. Maybe you know what it means to be betrayed by a close friend, the way we see Jesus being betrayed here. I remember one time when I was betrayed in college, my senior year. I had a roommate. I would say, if I would have said at the time, he was a good friend, and for our purposes here, we'll name him Derek. That wasn't his real name. But in our second semester, our senior year, Derek just started doing all sorts of weird, nasty, wrong things that were hurting people and just causing all sorts of chaos. And we would get these rumors back about, do you know Derek's doing this and Derek's doing that? And really brought a lot of drama and dysfunction and chaos to the lives of my circle of friends. And one time we caught Derek stealing from us. So finally we got together and we confronted Derek about this, but then that just caused Derek to turn around and accuse one of my other roommates of committing just these horrible, heinous acts against him. I mean, these were serious accusations, and so the college officials had to be involved, and there was this big investigation, and it was just a stressful, ugly mess. Finally, everything concluded that Derek had made up all these things, and the rest of us were innocent. But that was betrayal. And how did I handle betrayal? Well, for the rest of the semester, I didn't even talk to Derek. I wouldn't even look at him. If I passed him out on the sidewalk between buildings, between classes, or in the dining hall in Geneva College, was not a big place, so I saw him, but just wouldn't even look his way. That's how, at the time, I handled betrayal. But here in today's passage, Jesus shows me a different way. Shows all of us a different way. Jesus knows what's going on in Judas' heart as they are eating together. He knows what Judas plans to do. He even announces it to everyone who is there, what one of them is going to do. One of you is going to betray me. And yet Jesus still eats this last meal with Judas. in that culture, any culture, most cultures really, sharing a meal is an intimate thing, isn't it? You invite someone into your house to share a meal, that's an intimate thing. Jesus, even at one point earlier in the evening, washes all his disciples' gross, dirty, disgusting feet, including those of Judas. And when we see Jesus in our passage here speaking of the eternally lost soul of the one who will betray him, he knows it's Judas. You can just hear, you can sense the anguish he feels over the loss of Judas's soul, the loss of the soul of this one who would betray him. Even then, Jesus continued to love Judas. So think about the people who have betrayed you. What has been your response? And what should be your response going forward from this moment? See, often we're betrayed. We want revenge. We want to see them get their just deserts. We want to see them get what they deserve. But that attitude eats away at our souls, and it doesn't really reflect the example Jesus has shown us. Today, right now, I want you to think of that person who has betrayed you. Maybe you've got more than one person who has betrayed you. I want you to think about them, and I want you to love them. Make the decision to love them. Think charitable thoughts about them. Pray for that person. And I don't mean you have to open yourself up to more betrayal if that's a possibility, but consider today how you can love that person. It's the least we can do, because it's what Jesus has done for us. God bless.